Okay, welcome everyone, as it's good to be back here at our flagship station here at Agudas Yisrael Beis Zev of Fairways Lakewood, and it's wonderful to see everybody. We don't have a minyan yet, but we have now 8 people here. The 8 people here. So if Barish was here, it would be 9, and if Avram Rezepkowitz would be here, it would be 10. So we would have already a minyan, and we really need to work on getting more people to come down to the shiv. Who knows? If we give him enough of an incentive, we might even be able to get Shalom Fogel here. Who knows? We'd have to do a very big incentive, tomahawk steaks or something. He says even regular steaks. Okay. I was looking for you in the Irvington today, Shalom. I came back today, Shalom. You know that the Irvington still had a Mincha Marav Monday night.
So Woodlake also had it, I think.
Yeah, but Tuesday night, I already davened Mincha Marav in Woodridge. I actually spoke for 70 people there between Mincha Marav. It was very nice. And the 2 Shachreisim today, the two Halal and Musaf Shachreisim, I davened in Nicholsburg, and I spoke over there. So Baruch Hashem, it was very nice to stay the extra few days. But we are back now, and very nice. You should see how everybody smiled to greet me over here. It was really very nice. It's wonderful to be back, and of course, Baruch Ian wouldn't even think of not coming here. I believe he took a plane from Deerfield just to come back. The fares are not that expensive, so he says as long as they're not that expensive, he does.
All the money.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we are dedicated by Baruch Ian, Lila Nishmas Yaakov Chaim Ben Abba, Esther Bas Gittel, Avram Ben Shmuel HaKayin, by Shalom Fogel, Lila Nishmas Yaakov Zeb Ben Yehuda Aryeh, Rivka Bas Yaakov Yosef, Tzivya Miriam Bas Gad, Yosef Ben Tziyim Ben Yaakov Zev, by A.B. Spry, who also had a chas, and he is sponsoring the Chumash shir tonight as well. Very special shir tonight. Yaakov Yamansky with a curse of Tov to the Rav, Zoom family, and Nachas from children and grandchildren, Ed Salah from London, and Joshua Rosenberg, a virtual Talmud. And, we as we are in Elul, in the thick of Elul, we learn to be Mekayim the mitzvah of Dibar Tabam. The Ran says that's the mitzvah Sasei Doraisa of Limud HaTorah. So we're Mekayim the mitzvah Sasei of Dibar Tabam. Lasois Nachas Ruach Liyitzreinu. We welcome in Dr. Block. We welcome in Jack Silverman, Saba, Aaron Swade, Sean Fogel, Mo Kushner, Nachman Chapler, El Udell, Irving Fishbaum, Stephen Holtzman, Michal, Dr. Guy, Shelley Zeitlin, Yisrael Fisher, who it looks like he's back in Tannersville. Yeah. No, not yet. Dr. Block, Jay Siegel, Moshe Lehman, Ilya Shutman, Yitzi Muller, Avram Rezepkowitz. Avram, we hope you're going to come back over here. We have a space for you, and we need you for a minyan. Naftali Jablin, Abe Arbach, Jack Silverman. Jack, we could use you over here as well. We really need the people here. We're going to... Back in Brooklyn. But you're going back for Shabbos, no? Yeah. Okay. We are holding at the top line of Daf Ayin Aleph Amud Aleph. So, in the event that our normal customers are not here, so in the event that Yisrael sells Shelley a field, even if he says he's selling it, the kol mashe b'soichai, and everything that's inside it, still he doesn't sell to him loyas habar, not a pit, v'loyas hagas, not a wine press, v'loyas hashavach, not a dovecote, bein charevim, whether they are in ruin, they are not being used, bein yeshuvin, whether they are active, and if Yisrael wants to, let's try to mute people over here. Okay, he's gone. When Yisrael sells, when Yisrael sells it to Shelley, so he doesn't sell the pit, but if he wants to get to it, he's going to have to buy. He's going to have to buy the right of way from Shelley in order now to get to the pit, to the dovecote or the press. Div Rabbi Kiva, because if you remember, we established that Rabbi Kiva holds moicher b'ayin yafa moicher. The seller sells generously, and therefore he sold everything to Shelley, even the right of way. The Chacham remain at Tzarech. The Chacham say no. Yisrael doesn't have to buy because moicher b'ayin ra moicher. He sells more stingily, and therefore he kept the right of way for himself. Rabbi Kiva, however, admits, Bizman she'amalei chutz me'elu, if Yisrael says, I'm selling you the field except for the bar, now he doesn't have to say that, because the bar, the shavek, and the gas is not included. So why does he say the yitur lashon? So then he's made the Bizman she'amalei chutz me'elu. Then that means that he used the yitalosh, the extra language, in order to reserve for himself the right of way. Then he doesn't have to buy from Shelley the right of way. Machron la'acher. What happens if Yisrael sells to Nachman the wine press? He sells to Nachman the bar. So Rabbi Kiva, again here Rabbi Kiva is l'shitasai. Rabbi Kiva says that when Yisrael sold it, he sold it ayin yof, he sold it generously. So he sold to Nachman also the right of way, and Nachman doesn't have to buy the right of way. The Chacham, true to their opinion that they hold moicher b'ayin ra moicher, he didn't sell Nachman the right of way, and therefore tzarich likach loy derech. When do these rules hold true b'moicher, where it's a sale? Aval b'noisein matana, but if a gift was given, look who's here, Moshe from South Fallsburg. Wow, it's been a long time since we saw you, Moshe from South Fallsburg. It's great to have you. I'm just coming from South Fallsburg today, Moshe. So this is true by a sale. But if, let's say, Yisrael gave to Nachman the bar as a gift, then Noisin is kula. Then he gives him everything. He gives him the right of way too. Or this has another meaning over here, and when do we say that the gas and the shavich and the bar is not included in the sale? That's only where he gives it to him as a gift. But where he sells it to him. But if he gives it to him as a gift, then he includes all of these things in the gift. Now, here we have Ruvain and Shimon, no Bechar. Ruvain and Shimon are dividing the estate. Ruvain takes the field, Shimon takes the vineyard. Zachu b'sada, Ruvain, who gets the field, Zacha b'kula. He gets everything. And the reason is because here we say, as we welcome in Richard Rosenzweig, Here we say quid pro quo. Here we say you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Each brother wants to have everything that he inherits. So just like he's going to give in the vineyard everything in the vineyard, he wants everything in the field. The Gemara said earlier another svara, and that is that each one wants to use it the way the father used it. So when the father had the field, he used everything in the field. The Mishnah now goes on. The Mishnah is wandering to different topics. Hamarzik benichse ager. Here is our ambulance chasing Stephen Holtzman, right? He always has his shortwave radio to find out a ger that dies in order to chaperein, right? So if Steve grabs the field of a ger who died without children, hirzik b'soda, hirzik b'kula. He gets the bar, the shayvech, and the gas as well. Hamaktish es asada. Let's say Dr. Block is maktish his field. Hiktish es kula. He's maktish everything in the field, even the bar, the gas, and the shayvech. Reb Shimon says hamaktish es asada. If Dr. Block is maktish the sada, he doesn't give away the entire store. But lehiktish ela esachara b'amurka ve'esadin hashikma. He's makdish, although normally when you sell a field, you don't sell with it the carob that's already grafted, because it has its own identity, it's important. You don't sell the pruned sycamore tree, but when you're makdish a field, you're makdish with it the grafted carob tree and the sadin hashikma. Now, why that's different than the bar, the shayvech, and the gas, the Gemara is going to explain.
What if the ger makes out a will to whom he wants it to?
No, that's different. The ger makes out a will, then we honor the will. We're talking about where the ger dies suddenly. Now, says the Gemara, Maishno mecher, maishno matana. Why is a sale different than a gift? Why by a sale do we say that even though he says kol masher b'soicha, the bar and the dus and the gas, the bar and the gas and the shayvech is not sold, and by a matana it is. Why is it that by a mecher the din would be, according to Rabbi Akiva, according to Rabbanan, that he doesn't give the right of way, but according to if it's a matana, he gives the right of way. What's happens? So Pirish Yehuda ben Nikusa. So Yehuda ben Nikusa explains Lefnei Rebbe, explains this as he said this explanation in front of Rebbe. Ze Pirish v'ze loy Pirish. The one who gave a gift is Mefaresh, that he's giving everything, and the one who sells it is not Pirish. So the Gemara says, but that's not true. How is that Pirish v'ze loy Pirish? Is there a distinction in the Mishnah that by the gift he said he's giving everything, and by the sale he didn't say? The Mishnah says by both of them that he wasn't expressing any details. Zeloi pirish v'zeloi pirishu. Ella says the Gemara, Zeh hoyeloi lefarish. That's a horse of a different color. In the case of a noisein, a person that gives a matana is very generous. And if he meant to restrict it and not give the bar, the gas, and the shayvech, then hoyaloi lefarish. He should have said that I'm not giving that. He should have said I'm not giving the right of way. But by a sale, it's not as generous, and therefore v'zeh lo hoyaloi lefarish. He doesn't have to say it's with an exclusion. It's assumed that way. Now, the Gemara gives us an example. And I just want to say, now that I'm already into the daf, I was a little bit lacking of manners to the people here in the shul. We want to welcome here in the shul Ruben Shanet and Michal Avram and Chaim Kramer and Gedalia Engel and Yitzi Fuchs, who came special to welcome me. And we put cement on his chair, so now he's... it's only another 1,010 blat, so it's okay. And Baruch Ian, thank you all for being here. Huh?
Rich Lane.
What?
Rich Lane.
Oh, where is he?
Right there. Corner.
Well, I can't even see you. Rich Lanner, of course, Rich Lanner. He's playing hide and go seek. I know what it is. He's afraid I'm going to use him as an example. So anyway. Hahu Damar, so since Marshall is not here, he's usually the Hahu, so Rich Lenner. Hahu Da'amalahu, Havle Laplanya Besa de Marzik Meya Gulpe. Rich gave instructions. Now, Rich has many assets, and he instructed that he wants to give Ruvain Pollock a house from his property that holds 100 barrels. So that's how he described the house. Now Reuven is interested. He could always use another house. Reuven has a lot of children, grandchildren. He could always use another house. Ishtakach, when they were looking, they found to have a malzik meya ve'esrin. One of Rich's properties had the capacity to hold 120 barrels. So now the question is, what do we say? Do we say that since that's the closest house, that's the one that he's giving to Ruvain? Or do we say he only meant the area of 100 barrels? So he's giving him 5/6 of the house. Right? If you divide it into 6 times 20 is 120. So he's giving him 5/6 of the house. So says the Gemara, Amar Mazutra. Mazutra says Reuben can't have the whole house. Meya Amalei, he told him 100. Meya ve'esin lo Amalei, he didn't tell him 120. Amalei Rav Ashi, excuse me, lo Amalei. Rav Ashi Amar, Miloi Tanan, Bamedva Mamurim. Where do we say that it's not included b'mecher? Aval b'moisen matana noisen eskulam. We grant him everything. Alma mandi yov matana ba'ayin yov. It's given with a special generosity. Hachanami mandi yov matana ba'ayin yov. He gave it a special generosity. He's not likely that he's giving him only 5/6 of the house. Who gives 5/6 of a house? That's not a generous thing to do. It's more likely that he estimated this house could fit 100 barrels. He underestimated it. It could fit 120. He didn't think so. But that he gets Rav Ashi says that Reuven gets the entire house. Now, Hamakdish es Asada, in the event that Yisrael is Makdish a field, so we said that the Tanakama holds Hikdish is Kula. He's Makdish everything, the bar, the shayvech, the gas. Reb Shimon draws the line and says, no, the only thing that he gets, that Hektish gets more than a normal sale, is that Hektish will get the grafted carob tree and the pruned sycamore tree, even though normally in a sale, that's not included. Amar Rav Huna, Afal gav da Amar Rabbanan. So now, the Gemara takes us on a little bit of a detour over here. The halacha is that if Elliot buys from me 2 trees, he doesn't get the land under the trees. And that would mean that if the trees die, I could tell him, pull them out and get lost. Which I would, even though I like Elliot. But I didn't sell him the land with it. So, says the Gemara, Amar Rav Huna, Afal gav da Amar Rabbanan. HaKoinish Shnei Ilonais B'Sei Shel Chaveroi. If Elliot buys 2 trees in my field, Harizel Loi Kana Karka, he doesn't acquire Karka, but Mocher Karka, if I sell the land to Shelley, V'Shayir Shnei Ilonos Lefanov, and I keep for myself 2 trees, there, Yesh Loi Karka. There, I keep for myself the real estate. Now, you'll say, oh, that's probably according to the Chachamim, who say, Moicher ba'ayin ra moicher, that when I sell stingily, and therefore I keep the land, when I sell the land, and I keep the trees for myself, I keep the land with it. But says the Gemara, this is true even according to Rabbi Kiva, B'Chiddush. V'afilu Rabbi Kiva da'amar moicher ba'ayin yafa moicher, that when I sell generously, and therefore if I sell you the field, and I keep the bird to myself, and I keep the pit to myself, I don't keep anything for myself. Hani mili gabe bar v'dus, that's only by a pit, by a dus, that's a pit that's lined with bricks. Deloy kamachreshe ba'ara. It doesn't do any damage to the land that I sold the land to. It doesn't have roots. It doesn't have the Shelley who I sold the land to could plant all the way up till the land, or all the way up to the pit, and therefore I don't need to reserve anything for myself. But if I sell the land to Shelley and keep 2 trees for myself, so even though you hold like Rabbi Akiva that the moicher is usually generous, but there I don't sell the land under the trees. Because since the Kamacha Sheba'ara, since these trees damage Shelley's lands, the roots go and invade his land, they're yoinik from the land and weaken the land, there's a very real worry that if the tree dies, Shelley will tell me, yank it out and beat it. Aval Ilanis the Kamach Sheba'ara, there, Im Isa Deloy Shire, if it's true that I didn't keep the land, if I would not be have foresight, and I wouldn't keep the land for myself, since the tree wreaks havoc on Shelley's property, when it dies, Shelley will surely tell me, uproot your tree, shkol v'zil, take it away and beat it. Now, Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, Reb Shimon says, Hamakdish es asada, that in the event that Yisrael is makdish a field, so the Rabbanan hold that if he's a makdish a field, he gives everything. He's makdish the bar, the gas, the shayvich. Reb Shimon says, no. The only thing that goes together with the field that usually doesn't go together with a sale is that Amakdish is Asada Lehikdish El Charab Hamurkav, the grafted carob tree, and the Sadna Shikna, the prune sycamore tree. Now, normally in a sale, that doesn't go. But he says by Hektish it does go, even though he holds that it's like a sale in regard to the bar and the gas and the shaver, that Hektish doesn't get it, but it does get the Charav Amukav and the Sadna Shikna. Now, the Tanya Allah, and in explanation of this, Amar Reb Shimon Matam, what's the reason? You know why Hektish gets it? Because if Yisrael would keep it, he would end up using a tree that nurses from Hektish. Amar Reb Shimon Matam, Hayil v'yoinkin mistay Hektish. But wait a second. Oh, 1 second. We just said a minute ago that when a person sells 2 trees, what did we say? We said that hakoyne shnei ilanos b'sei shel chaveiroi harizel loy kana karka. Somebody buys 2 trees in somebody's field, he doesn't acquire the karka. Now, if Hektish doesn't acquire the karka under the trees, so then, the other way around. Rav Huna says that if you sell karka and you keep trees before you, then you get the karka too. So, since in a normal sale, when you sell a field, you don't sell the carob that's grafted because it has its own identity, and you don't sell the prune sycamore tree because it has its own identity. So, according to Rav Huna, when you don't sell it, you keep the land for yourself. So then when Yisrael is makdish the field, and the sycamore tree and the carob tree is not included, so then Yisrael keeps the ground for himself too. And if Yisrael keeps the ground for himself too, then it's not being yoinik from Ekdish. So then what's the reason of Reb Shimon? Says the Gemara, the Isol kedaitach shiyurei shayer, that when he keeps 2 trees for himself, he keeps the land as well. So then Kiko Yanke, when Yisrael will keep the carob tree or the sycamore tree for himself, when it nurses midanav sheko Yanke. Says, you're right. Rav Huna, who says that when a person sells it, now the Gemara is switching its story. Rav Huna, who says that when a person sells karka and keeps the 2 trees for himself, he keeps the karka for himself, that's only going according to Rabbanan, who holds Meicher ba'ayin ra Meicher. Reb Shimon holds like Rabbi Kiva. Reb Shimon holds like Rabbi Kiva that the Meicher ba'ayin yafa Meicher. So when he sells the 2 trees, he sells the land with it. And therefore, therefore, excuse me, when he sells 2 trees, hold on. When he dedicates the karka, and he reserves the 2 trees for himself, when he dedicates the karka and he keeps the trees for himself, because the sadna shikma and the charab hamurkav has its own identity, he only keeps the trees, but he sold everything else by in yafa. And therefore, since he dedicated the land to Hektish, the Hektish gets the land even under the trees, and therefore that's the reason Rab Shimon says the trees also go to Hektish, because since Hektish has the land underneath it, these trees are nursing from the property of Hektish, and therefore they're going to be also to Yisrael. Let's see that inside. Rab Shimon Dama Rabbi Akiva. Rab Shimon holds like Rabbi Akiva that the Meicher is Meicher B'ayin Yafa, and therefore even if he reserves the trees for himself, the 2 trees for himself, he gives away the land underneath it. And therefore, in the case where he's makdish it, normally Hektish wouldn't get the trees, because when you makdish a field, just like the bar-gas and the shoivich doesn't go to Hektish, so the grafted carob tree and the prune sycamore tree wouldn't go to Hektish. But since Reb Shimon holds like Rabbi Kiva that he keeps just the trees but not the land underneath it, therefore the land underneath it is Hektish's, and the trees are yoinik, are nursing from property of Hektish, and that's why the owner doesn't get the tree. Rav Huna that says that when you Rav Huna that says that when you keep trees for yourself, you keep the land underneath it as well. That's Dama Kurabanan. That the Rabbanan hold that Moicher B'ayin Ra Moicher, he sells stingily, so therefore he sells only the trees, but therefore when he keeps the trees for himself, he keeps the land underneath it as well, and he doesn't sell the land underneath it because Moicher B'ayin Ra Moicher. We'll take this up again tomorrow, as the sugya will continue on to tomorrow's daf. We did the Mishnah Yomis already earlier, and now we will do the special share on Elul. I just want to say that this is the share that I will be giving at 5:30 to men and women. So if you're going to be here in Fairways, you could hear it on Shabbos. You don't need to stay now. But I want to give a special thanks to everybody that came down to the share, to be here live and to be mechazik the share. I really appreciate that.